here. I'm back today to do another Top 5 Wednesday. The theme this week is favorite male on male relationships, and I actually have read quite a few of these. Next week is going to be where I talk about the female-female relationships that I want to read, but this week I'm going to say about the male relationships that I have read. So the first book I'm going to talk about is Simon versus the Homo sapien Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I really love this book. This is the first male-on-male relationship book I've ever read, and I really liked it. I am so excited for the movie, and I love books that have, like, a mystery element. That's probably why I like this book so much, because there's a very, very strong mystery in this book. But I also just really liked how Becky wrote it. I thought that it was a super realistic portrayal of not only, like, the coming out process, but also, like, just like seeing Simon, in his thing, doing his thing was just really, really lovely, and I just loved it. And I'm so excited to see the movie. But this book is definitely rated as one of my top contemporaries for one of my top LGBTQ relationships. And I am so excited to see the movie. I really liked her other book, and I'm really excited for Leah on the Offbeat that comes out this May. But this was definitely a fun. If you guys have not checked this book out, I highly recommend you do it. I especially recommend you do it before the movie, because you should really, really read this book before you see it. But I'm equally excited to see the movie, and I might even do like a movie book comparison if you guys are interested in that. So comment below or write on my blog if you guys would like to see that, because I'm definitely going to go see the movie. If I have to go by myself, I will, but I really would like to see it. But this is definitely one of my top contemporary male-on-male books that I really liked. Read, and it is They Both Die in the End by Adam Silvera. This is definitely my favorite Adam Silvera book. I really loved it. I just loved Rufus and Mateo so much. And basically, the premise of this book is that in this society, you get a phone call the day you're going to die, and everyone could go on this last run up, and that's where Rufus and Mateo meet. And I just love this book so much. It was so emotionally heartbreaking. I was captured from page one. It was so devastating, but I just love them, like, together. And I thought that it was, like, for the short time that they had, it was such a well done novel, and I really liked it. And I will definitely want to read more by Adam Silvera. I did not love More Happy Than Not, but this book was so, so good, and I really do want to read his other book that I have on my shelf that is signed to me, so that will hopefully be a read that I wind up reading in 2018. But I definitely love this book a lot, and I love their romance. It was just so, as sad as this book was, there was a lot of uplifting moments in it. I just watched This Is Us last night, the disaster of an episode, because it was really, really emotionally heartbreaking. But it's kind of like that. Like, as sad as that episode was, you did see the positive moments, and that's kind of what I liked about this book. There was a lot of sadness, and there was a lot of, like, upsetness because their lives were coming to an end, but they really did find the ways to live every moment like it was their last, and I really did like that. So if you have not checked out this book, I highly recommend it, and I am really excited to see what Adam Silvera does next. More of a series, and it's not a surprise, but that is the Shadowhunter Academy series, and this is Magnus and Alex relationship. I really grew to love this couple so much, and now that I'm rereading Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy, I remember some stuff that happens, but boy, do I love these characters. I think that their overall plot through all the entire Mortal Instruments series leading into the Tales of the Shadowhunter Academies is such, like, a unique progression, and I really, really loved it. I love Magnus, I love Alec, and now that I'm rewatching them on the TV show, I just love seeing them together. And I think that they are the first adult couple that I ever really read about now that they're, like, adults. And I just really liked seeing them go from teenagers to adult life. And I really, really like that. I thought that it was really, really well done. And I think that, they're the romance of this book that kept me engaged throughout the most of it, because I really had some issues with Clary and Jace, and I grew to Simon and Izzy are my favorites, but for the start of the book series, they really were the romance that I pinned myself to, because I felt like they were so much stronger than the other relationships. So if you have not read this book series, I highly recommend you check out Magnus and Alec. I've also been really, like, watching on them on the TV show, which is definitely a different interpretation of the relationship, but still has the qualities that I love. So yeah, so those are all, so this is all my good things I have to say about Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy. I'm going to give you guys an extra one. I just remembered about it, but it is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I read this a couple of months ago, and it was an Owl Crate book for the month of July. I really loved it so much. I just love Monty and Percy, and I love their relationship and the historical fiction stuff that, you know, they were set in like a historical fiction world, and I just love their relationship so much. And I love Monty's point of view, and I just loved seeing their relationship progress. And it was really like a really interesting look at LGBTQ relationships, but also not in contemporary. I don't think I've read much of that stuff at all. So that was like a nice like showing of that, of what their relationship was like in those times, and I just really really liked it. I'm equally excited for her sequel book that follows the sister, but Monty and Percy will always have a special place in my heart. Talk about is kind of a book that I don't think I've ever talked about on my channel. I think I talked about it a couple of years in one video, but it is the Luck in the Shadow series by Lynn Fluell. In college by one of my good friends, Shannon. And it's the first, literally the first, and male on male relationship I ever read, and I loved it so much. I loved Alex and Sergio. I thought that she really crafted not only a fascinating world, but I just love the politics about their relationship and, you know, the taboo relationship, but how they just were so good. It remains one of my favorite male on male relationships. I love them so much. I really still have to finish the last book in the series, and I've been putting it off for like a close to almost 3 years at this point because I just don't want the series to end. It's definitely one of my highlight fantasy series. I just don't talk about it all that much because I literally read it like so many years ago before I started BookTube, before I started YouTube. But it's definitely one, and no one really talks about this series. So if you're looking for a really strong world, but also a really strong male and male romance, I would highly recommend this series. If you guys want me to do a book review or a book summary about it, just let me know. But it's very well done. What I'm going to talk about is the Heroes of Olympus series, which specifically House of Hades and Beyond. Any middle grade authors even touch you know, LGBTQ relationships, and Rick Riordan does it so well. Even in his up subsequent series, he even addressed like transgenderism, and I really loved it. But I love Nico so much, and I won't tell you who he winds up with in case you like read the books and then don't want to know. But it was so well done. I think their relationship is adorable, and whenever I'm in the middle of rereading them, like I'll reread a book, and I think one of the um booktube channels I follow, Alexa Loves Books, is going to do a Percy Jackson reread later in the year, which I will definitely be tuning into because I really love this book series, and I really have been dying to do a reread. So I will definitely be following that along, maybe at a slower pace like I am with the Tamora Pierce one for Circle of Magic, which I really need to get my butt in gear. But I really enjoy that book series, and not only what it like just their relationship, but also like the impact that it has made on the middle grade community. So those are some of the my top 6, I guess, relationships of LGBTQ focusing on males that I really like, and I think that you should consider checking out. If you comment below, what are some of your ones? This is not like my preferred genre. I don't read a lot of it, but I would love to read more. And as you will see next week, I really want to read more female relationships. I just have not read any. So I am very sad about that. So I will have to rectify that in 2018. But let me know in the comments what are some of yours and who do you think I should be checking out, and I'll talk to you guys later.